He just touches
Hello.
every.
Hello, and welcome to an all new episode of Men and Women Talk, the Mars Venus Show. I am one of your hosts, Kente, all the way live from California. And this is episode number 165. And
Oh
I
wow!
and I am joined by my wonderful, beautiful, ultra talented co-host, the one and only Shannon. How you doing, Shannon?
Hi, Light Love, finally back in West Florida.
That's right, because the last 2 weeks you were in Georgia, right? Yeah, and you were partially with this young lady that we're going to introduce pretty soon.
Yes.
So yeah, pretty cool. All right, and I just want to give a shout out to my father. Today would have been his 89th birthday. So happy birthday, Dad, who's who passed away in 2013. I love you so much, Cecil Ferguson. All right, so let's introduce our special guest, and you know what? I'm gonna hand the mic over to Shannon to give her the honor to do that.
All right. Well, I met this disease ridden. No, I met this beautiful, lovely diva back in 2015 in Kente's writing group. And we have been ebony and ivory ever since.
Yes.
We hang out together. Hopefully we don't get COVID together, but we hang out together. I need you to get it together.
I also had the pleasure of meeting her too in person.
Yes. Game night.
Yeah. So that was pretty awesome as well.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
So she's a writer, a resume connoisseur. She's a mother, a lover. Stephanie, hurry up and get your butt in this chair. Her hair is down to her ankles, and as her earrings say, she ain't nothing short of. Look, she ain't nothing short of a boss. Oh, and FYI, her daddy fine and fine. Okay, none other than Tiffany.
Don't blow that man head up. Do not blow that man's head up. He don't need no help.
Oh wow. She's trying to go out with your daddy.
Listen. Don't blow that man up.
Oh wow.
No word is forever for Nikki's daddy. Shouts out to Michael Steptoe. But yeah, your daddy. He's in the top 5 of daddies that can get it.
Oh wow.
I'm at that age.
Yeah. And also, Shannon, I give you the pleasure of introducing our other guest.
And this diva, with all the brains, the IT hacking capabilities, and the tatas, live on deck and in the great state of El Washington, Houston's finest, the one and only, So Steph. What up, girl?
Hey, what's up? What's going on? Thank you for having me.
Hey, Steph.
Welcome. Look at you.
Hey, Stephanie. Yes.
Sorry, I'm late. Had a little technical difficulty. I couldn't find my laptop.
Hey. Hey man, sometimes it be that way. Sometimes it be that way. So this topic
where did you find it?
Under the bed.
You know, I might need to look under my bed. I'm sure there's some stuff under there.
That sounds like a very Tiffany situation.
Yeah.
Nope. No, thank you.
All right. So this topic tonight, give us a rundown, Shannon.
Okay, so we are of engagements, specifically as it relates to dating and mating and cohabitating, and this last season of Insecure, specifically episode 8. A very short window in episode 8 when they were sitting at the table of understanding about their this relationship and how to right all those wrongs. And we have two different tables of thoughts here, Tiffany and Stephanie, about how they feel about these rules of engagement. So I thought we'd sit at this table of get vocal about rules of engagement.
Awesome.
So how about that?
What was that?
No, episode 8 was hell. If we give you any little recap. There were 10 episodes in season 4, and episode 8 was that episode where Lawrence was sitting at the bar. He had popped a mint, but apparently it was too strong and it fell out of his mouth. And Issa came through the door and he was like, "Hey," she was like, "Hey," and then she went on the floor, and everybody was like, "Dang!" And he laid there while Moses parted the sea.
You just need a minute.
And Pharaoh came after this.
I've done this.
And he went over the boat. She went over to check on him, was like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "I'm good. Shut up, Linda. Go back over there and do your job." Lawrence came and checked her and said, "You gonna need a minute?" She said, She got up, but she didn't get up with her purse. And some other sisters bumped into her and said, "Oh, be good, sister, be blessed." I was like, "Oh, that's a whooping and a half." Anyway, she sat her butt down at the table and he reminded her that she hadn't changed much based on that fall where she landed on her face. And so they had a drink. She told him she had glowed up, that her current drink of choice was not the one he ordered, but she could leave it on the table because he's going to drink that too. And then they had a conversation and the drinks ended up being on the bar because they were like, "Since you busted your butt, we're going to go ahead and comp your drinks for the night." And they left and went somewhere else. And then they had a whole bunch of conversations, but she ran into her old dude. What is it? TSA dude?
Yeah.
The
TSA.
They was getting
TSA, baby.
they was getting this meal. Or they had this meal already. And he's like, "You had them prong joints?" And she was like, "I really don't know this dude." But Lawrence made sure that he realized that, yeah, we had them prawn joints and everything else on the menu. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, how do you know Issa?" "Yeah, we used to smash." So, Raquel, that's what I'm telling you. I'm not going to tell you no more because I play. You need me in your life. You want me to tell you? I'm a storyteller. But that's the short version. Okay, how'd I do? How'd I do, you ladies? Did I do okay? No, I didn't do okay. I could keep going.
So we're talking about the
Yeah.
rules of engagement when it comes to dating, and you're setting it to the backdrop of that TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
No, to that episode,
okay.
that specific conversation.
All right. So I mean, some of us haven't seen the show, so you
I
gave.
kind of improvised that whole thing.
Okay, so
Huh?
when you're talking about the rules of
You
engagement,
said you don't watch what?
no, I said some of us haven't seen the show. I'm just saying when you talk about the rules of engagement,
Okay.
are you saying like when you first see somebody, did you want to date? Is that what we're talking about?
Okay, so let me give you another short spiel about what happened, and then we'll get to that story. Okay, so in season 8, right after all that happened, they sat down and had this deep conversation after she basically accused him of being sick because he had to tell her something, but he wouldn't tell her something. And he was like, "Yo, it's not that serious. Issa, chill out." And so they sat down and he was like, "So I've been thinking about what would have happened if I would have stayed. Because 5 years into a relationship, she had cheated on him. And he didn't stay. However, caveat, I won't give all of those bloopers away because Stephanie's going to bring up why she got issues with Lawrence in the first place. But Issa pretty much said, I wish you wouldn't have given up on us. Tell me more about what you're doing right now. And so he went on this monologue about how, he would see her getting up, going to work. She basically making it, even though she hated her job. and, you know, carrying the weight of her and him, because she in love with her man. But when you get into that funk and you don't want to be vulnerable and talk about the things that you got going on in your relationship and share that maybe you don't feel as adequate because you're not going to work to cash a check and make a check too, that can always translate into something different, especially when somebody else in a relationship is effing up. So that's pretty much what they talked about. They basically said the premise was no eggshell, so we know each other too well, so let's talk about everything at the table of understanding. And anyway, it led into another conversation when he showed her his house and then he showed her his bedroom. But we'll get to that later. How about that?
Okay.
You caught up now, Kente?
Okay.
So basically, in short, I'll start with you, Tiffany. What from start to finish in terms of what you saw in that relationship, what you know about relationships that you've encountered yourself, what were the highs or the lows of that, and getting to that season 8 is like, okay, this matters because.
The reason why I say this conversation matters is based on a conversation they had prior when they blew up at each other and they were at each other's throats and they were calling each other names in media, even whether it's fictitious media like television shows like Insecure or just social media. Black women and Black men are seen always doing this, and it's hardly ever respectful. Like, you have people that'll go off on strangers on Facebook or curse each other out, or you see the world star fights. We never get the adult, I'm going to sit down and treat you like I claim I care about you conversations. And I absolutely love that she made it absolutely necessary to write that into the show, because we don't see that. Them saying, you don't have to have eggshells around me. We've known each other too long. Talk to me. I want to hear you, and I want you to hear me. So I had a shout dance because I get it's a show, I get it's comedy, but we don't see those healthy exchanges. Like, shows exploit the unhealthy. They exploit the blow-ups, but they never get to the, hey, let's have a grown-up conversation. Like, we actually spent 5 years in a relationship together. I like the fact that they show the reverse, not just a woman having to accept a philandering man. I like the fact that they show a woman cheating. And I like the fact that they showed a man saying, dang, maybe I contributed to this. Because it's always a stereotype that women have to accept the cheating and men are the cheaters, or that if a woman cheats, they can never come back from that. I like the fact that they had healthy conversations about how do you move on from infidelity without it being toxic and without you throwing it up in that person's face every 2 seconds. So I really, really like the fact that they flip the stereotype in multiple ways.
Okay.
And Raquel just said it took his friends to be real to him, thinking about his contribution to the break.
I like that too.
Need you a real friend.
Because he was like, no woman wants to see her man not making it.
Sure.
Even the fool made sense. I don't know why he's friends with that dude.
That part. I don't either. So I get your side of the story too. I do appreciate it. However, there are always 2 sides to every story. Stephanie paints a very different picture as it relates to the rules of engagement. So why does this story matter or not matter, Stephanie?
I would say, okay, so Insecure, like you said, the whole premise of the show right now is really Lawrence and Issa. You know, they were together 5 years. You know, Lawrence wasn't working. He was working on his business. And Issa was being the stereotypical strong Black woman, like carrying the household, paying, not feeling like a man, You know, she's not getting sex. She's not getting the birthday gift. She's not getting anything, at least for a year. And then she cheats. You know, and so I can appreciate the fact that a woman stepping out. They usually don't show that on TV. It's, you know, women cheat, men cheat. Like people cheat, you know. It's a different dynamic that you don't see very much, especially the way that Black men are portrayed as, you know, philandering, you know, always just out there putting it where, you know, just hitting it, baby. Now, so for that part, I'm with that. But see, Lawrence is a fuckboy. Okay, Lawrence. He has his like I was telling Shannon, we kind of had a pre-gaming conversation. Lawrence is a fuckboy, and the reason why I say that is because it took, number one, it took his friends to actually show him where he was wrong. He didn't really do his own self-reflection. Now, of course, there's times where my family or friends probably pulled my coattail, but I mean, you knew you didn't have a job. Like, you knew that, right? You knew she was paying all the bills. So you couldn't understand her frustration. You couldn't self-reflect that she may have been frustrated with the situation. I mean, I just felt like that was that didn't speak to him maturing. That spoke to him just like somebody told him, okay, you need to do what's right. So then the conversation that they had after they, you know, after she cheated and he went out and got an STD and got trapped with these two white women that was fetishizing him. And, you know, after he spreaded it low and swung it wide, and after he, you know, was with Condola, her homegirl, like awkward, like I just felt like it just really, like, after all of that, after all that Issa took from him, you got rid of her for one infraction because she did not fit your perfect mold of a woman. But you're not perfect because you didn't even have a job. What bills were you paying? And whether a conversation may needed to be had, but no pussy shall be given just because we had a conversation. See, that's the problem I had with it. Just because we had a conversation and we had a meeting of the minds, that does not mean that we need to have a meeting of the private parts. You know, I can get closure without fucking you.
Put it on a
No, you can't have real closure without sex, though.
No. I appreciate that, quote unquote, has grown up. I appreciate that. Men are like 10 years behind women in terms of maturity. Okay, I appreciate that. Your boys kind of pull your coattail because his boys are at different places in their life. One of them is married, got a baby. The other one got married. Even the fuck boy, his friend that's the fuck boy, then got married. So
we have been married.
Yeah, you lagging behind, Lawrence. You didn't even have you didn't even have a decent apartment in a decent neighborhood. You didn't have no furniture. Like, what? I just get tired of seeing Black women in situations, or women in general, just having to put up this, like, take the scraps, just like take what's given. Like, why couldn't you expect me to take you back if you cheat? Why don't I get afforded the same grace and opportunity when you were the one who didn't even have a job and I've been supporting you?
Well, he had more time on his hand. So okay, so this is a show you guys say I should watch. It seems like every Black guy on the show ain't shit.
Nobody on this is perfect. Everybody is flawed. And that's the good part about it. Everybody has flaws. But in this particular context, in this particular situation, I felt like if we were to think about this in more realistic terms, not in a show where we're writing for comedy, we're writing for dramatics, that situation is irritating because I screw up once and you throw me away. but you've been screwing up for the last year, and I'm supposed to take your shit. Like how is that? Like that doesn't. No, that's not how real life works.
Oh man, boy with mental problems, good guy, hilarious.
I like the fact that his actions coincided to his mind state at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He already didn't feel like crap. He already felt everything that you're saying. He felt that.
Yeah.
So it was easier for him to say, "Oh, this is all your fault. This ain't even me. I'm good. It's you," and just be like, whatever.
Yeah, but it shouldn't take you. It shouldn't have taken him getting a year of being on your own. Then you go sleep with this girl who I end up actually being friends with. You still mad, and your boys still have to tell you that you're wrong. I don't want you if your friends got to tell you that you're wrong. Like, do you know that you are wrong sometimes? Like everybody sometimes.
True.
Like the maturity is just not there. Lawrence is the fuck boy. Now, I mean, Issa is not perfect. Issa has a problem with confrontation. You know, she dances around issues. You know, she's anxious. You know, she doesn't really get to the point sometimes. You know, every character on here has their flaws. Like I see myself in Molly. You know, Molly is fucked up sometimes. So, you know, nobody's perfect. But in this context, it speaks to the men, their relationships are driven by their ego. And it's irritating. It's irritating because I gotta, like you say, like, okay, we finally get to the point to where I don't have to walk on eggshells. Eggshells, your ego. You know, it shouldn't take all of that. And it's just, I just was like, I hope she don't get back with him.
I was so happy.
He don't deserve it. He don't deserve it. He does not deserve it.
This girl got a good job. He has an amazing house. He making bank. Let him pay for some dates.
Yeah, but you can find a job, dude, with an amazing house and an amazing bank that you didn't support for a year and didn't discard you after you made one mistake.
It was a big mistake.
He made a mistake by not paying the rent. That's a real big mistake.
I'm just saying, that's a big
mistake. When you don't have your money for the rent, that's a huge mistake.
I agree, but I mean, that's not like a mistake you just overlook.
No. You can't come if you don't have your money for the rent. You can't come back from that. Your shit gonna be out on the street. See, Issa better than me. His shit would have been on the street. We wouldn't have never even got to the phase where I was cheating on him because his shit would have been on our side. If I got to pay all the apartment belongs to me. If I'm paying all the rent, everything belongs to me.
But he was not always that way though.
Yep.
I think the difference in that he wasn't a homosexual. Like they started off with years with him paying bills and paying for dates and all of that. It wasn't like he was homeless Johnny and he didn't have nowhere to go and he's selling her drinks.
What Issa gonna do when she find out he was wilding and caught an STD?
I mean, she was wilding too. I think she lucky she didn't I don't think he gonna tell her that part.
Oh.
I think he gonna put that to the grave.
He gonna skip over the white girls and the threesome. He gonna skip over that part. Okay.
He's skipping over all of this. And she gonna skip over the skinny dipping in the pool and the Mile High Club.
But
they not telling each other this.
You know,
they not telling each other this.
I mean, people have like they say to get on one, you get on top of another. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, listen, she's skipping over Jorge too. I'm sorry, Alejandro. She's not finna tell about him. She not gonna do it.
But, you know, so I just feel like he's not ready. That's all I'm saying. He's not ready.
So okay, so when you talk about, I'm still trying to get the rules engagement part, Shannon. What does this got to do with rules of engagement? Are you talking about engaging like issues in a relationship?
Because
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what are like the rules of engagement when
you are
Shannon?
Well, as it relates to this, I'm sure there are a lot of them. I mean, I guess it depends on what side of the table you sit on, which is why I got
So
two
you're saying
opposing.
if you're the one that
heavyweights
did the
here.
wrong versus the one that.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So how do you engage somebody in your relationship when they effed up? Like, how do you engage it?
Yeah, like how do you how do you go about restoring and repairing the situation? Whether you with that person or not. And that's what my point is. Just because we have a civil conversation doesn't mean that the next step is I'm in your bed. It doesn't mean that.
But you missed them.
Well, every once in a while. On Friday.
No.
On Friday.
I mean, Lawrence ain't even that fine. Like, I mean, he ain't.
Baby. What? Let me chill out.
What you say?
Girl, he got a peanut head.
What you say?
I would sleep with
Girl,
Molly's
you too
man
picky.
first.
Stop
I go with
it.
the Asian dude before Lawrence. Have you heard
Black
his
Lives Matter,
accent?
man.
He has British accent.
Who? The
No.
Asian?
Yeah.
No, that is crazy. He does an American accent very
Anyway.
Yeah.
Next. Moving on.
I'm just saying, D, Black Lives Matter.
So have you guys ever been in a situation where your mate screwed up and you had to have one of those we need to talk moments?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
So
Yeah.
Everyone has that. Every adult woman has had that.
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times, but we always got to deal with shit like that.
Okay, so when you go into those moments, is it to correct the behavior generally, or to say you know put somebody on notice that look, you didn't already use the 2 strikes. The 3rd strike is about to happen. So is it generally just because you want to just correct their behavior, or is it because you want to or
It depends on the interaction.
Correct people's behavior. What I'm trying to look at is your thinking process, because I'm trying to see if you crazy.
That part.
If you can apologize, if you can say, you know what, I was wrong, maybe you just even shucking and jiving, but at least you know how to play the part. I can be like, okay, well, he ain't that crazy. But if you just defending some old crazy behavior that
I hate that shit too.
Like, I can't stand that. Like,
I can't stand it either.
I cannot stand that. So I'm looking for mental fitness, because everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has problems. You just find a person that got problems that you're willing to deal with. So I understand the capacity, the depth of your issues. So if I can understand, okay, well, at least you can apologize. There's a lot of people that don't know how to say, they don't know how to apologize properly. It's people that don't know how to reflect on, okay, well, I hurt this person. It wasn't intentional, but the result was that I hurt this person. How do I, fix this? There's people that really don't understand that.
Can you tell when you're being handled? Like, what I mean is, okay, you're upset with me, right? And then you have let's have a conversation. We need to talk moment, right? But there is a way us guys, we handle you guys. We say what we need to say to move on from that situation. Can you tell when you're being handled?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not when I was 21, but at 41, I know when the bullshit meter is going on.
That part.
That part.
That's
right, baby. You're right, baby. I'm gonna do better.
Okay, you're gonna do better without me, though.
And when we become of age, that conversation, like, you don't even have to let them know. I know. I peep what you're doing. I just block and delete.
that glow up is real from across
what's
the street.
point? Like I feel like all this covered. Like the point, like Issa and Lawrence are. I mean, the way that their characters are written are like 30 years old. Okay, that's a whole different animal than like where I'm at, which is 41.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't need closure. I just block you, and I don't block you no more.
Stephanie. You're not that cold blooded, Stephanie.
I am here for that. I mean,
I'm a savage, even though some people wouldn't say that I am. But I mean, I just feel like, you know, it's just certain things when you get to your 40s, it's like certain things that you just not gonna deal with. Like you just not gonna put up with. You've been through the ups and downs, the games, and you see it for what it is. And you're like, okay, I see you. Okay, block.
Or how do you decipher between gamemanship and just I fucked up? Like
that it doesn't matter because, you know, it really doesn't matter. It's like it's part of the rule of engagement. It's like it doesn't matter. Like if like my stepfather always used to tell me, it doesn't matter if you have proof that the person is not doing what they're supposed to do. If you feel like they're not trustworthy, that's you. If your feeling is that you can't trust them, you need to move on.
It's interesting though. Like and big shout out to Maurice Ball and Aaron Goins, who just came into the Facebook chat. You know, it's very interesting when you get into these situations with women. A lot of guys, they do this thing where they'll lie when they don't have to lie. You know what I mean? So, and it's like, you know, actually, you can. The truth is not as drastic as you think. You know,
it's not that serious.
Yeah, like, you know, it's like you can. A lot of times you can tell the truth.
Like the time that you took.
You know, you could tell the truth way more than most guys realize, and it's gonna be all good. So, but sometimes guys will lie. I mean, you know, I'm a man. You know, they'll lie when they don't have to, right? They'll lie about the smallest little detail that really is insignificant, but then once you get caught with that lie, then she starts questioning everything you say. You know. But then sometimes the truth does sound like a lie, though.
Yeah. MJ, when's the last time you lied to a woman? And not your mom. Not your mom.
A woman I've dated?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago. Yeah. I have a disease. I have a disease.
He lying right now.
No, I have a disease. I tell the truth way too much, like to a fault. It's like I should lie more, to be honest with you. No, the truth is not me in trouble way more than lying.
I should lie more.
I should lie more. The truth is kill. I'm one of those people that I'm like, what's that Jim Carrey movie, Liar Liar, where you know he has to tell the truth, like. And that's gotten me in way more trouble than telling the truth.
So, Kentime, I got a question.
Sure.
If you go on a date with somebody,
okay,
the date didn't go, it was okay, but you just didn't feel, you know, your dick didn't get hard. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
She's cool, but you don't feel that sexual attraction.
Okay.
And then she texts you, it's like, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up? You know, when we gonna hang out again? What's you gonna say?
I'll say, you know, you're a good person, but I really didn't feel your connection. So maybe we should just, you know, be cool on each other. I've said that many times. I've had it said to me before. So, you know, I mean, I'm not going to keep dating someone because I feel bad that, I mean, I think I do more harm. With that, you know, seeing someone that I'm not into, you know? So, have not when I was younger. Yeah, I probably lied, about that, but not now. I feel like at this age, I don't have to do that, you know. So yeah, I do tell. I'm very truthful.
What if she has a rebuttal?
Okay, like what would? Okay, let's play. What's her rebuttal?
You know, I thought we had a really good time, and you know, I'm so attracted to you, and I just really want to slob on your knob.
Then I'd be like, you can slob on my knob, but don't expect anything more of that.
Like pouring on the cob.
Like slobbing on my knob is because I imagine I was attracted to her, so I probably wouldn't be against the knob slobbing, but no.
The knob slobbing.
No, honestly, though, really at this point, I don't really want that either. You know, I don't want.
Do you ever ghost women?
Do I ever ghost women? No. Have I ghost women?
No, I think no. You know why I think fine? Because when you repeat the question after somebody asks the question, that's
No. You know what? I mean, do I go do it now? No. Have I did it in the past? Of course I have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mess.
So
Whole mess.
But I'm not too, so it's fine.
because you feel like you don't want to hurt their feelings, or you just don't want to be bothered.
What, when I've ghosted in the past?
Mm-hmm.
I think I was just inconsiderate.
Mm-hmm.
I was done, so in my mind, it was done.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It was done to me
After you hit it.
No, I've never ghosted anyone after we had sex. Never.
Really?
Never. No, I'm an empath. Like I'm very empathic. I'm very empathic. Like I'm one of those people that I don't like to hurt people. Like I'm talking about in general.
Say they don't want to hurt a woman's feelings. That's why they ghost them.
No, this is our TED Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, Kente ghosted
You can't ghost
me. Okay? So
Whatever.
From Kente,
No, well, let me tell you about Shannon.
I didn't hear from Kente for a whole year one time.
What?
okay, so I'm not the only one.
Let me tell you about Shannon. I go to Atlanta primarily to see my co-host, and she ignored me the whole time. So talking about ghosting, she did that. How are you gonna ghost somebody in their face?
That's not how ghosting works.
I know, but she invented a whole new ghosting. And when I was at, I think I was at your house. Tiffany, was that at your house? Was it your house? Was that?
Horrible.
It was Kim's house.
You got side because you ain't paid puppy.
My bad. It was Kim's house. I was at, and she wouldn't even let me play with the dog. And the dog was there. She wouldn't let. Talking about
No.
The Negro's eyes was wide open.
You're in arrears. How much money you owe?
I cash app.
How much money do you owe? No, you don't. You are behind on your
I cash
payments,
app that dog every week. So.
You are behind on your payments. You ain't made a payment. You've been alive since August of 2018.
No.
Y'all do the math.
Seriously though, I'm very empathic, right? So I don't do things purposely to hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
Have I done things to hurt people before? It was never intentional, and that's totally intentional.
Mm-hmm.
So
you abandoned me.
So no, so I really don't do that. So I mean, I'm sure I could have like if I had Yelp reviews.
They would be. You would have
whatever. If I had
1.5 out of 5 stars.
I mean, I had other crimes that I committed, but those weren't it.
What were your other crimes?
You know, the only person who would give you a rave review is the possum because you ran.
The possum, funny. That is hilarious. That's a story into itself. No, like I was one thing was I was very into myself. So, you know, so if that was probably my biggest thing.
I'm gonna ask you this. So in terms of rules of engagement, let's say you meet a woman, I
Mhm.
don't know, it don't matter, online, in person, whatever. And she's like, well, you know, I want to go Dutch, just so there's no obligation on either side. How do you feel about that?
Okay, I'm old school. If I'm taking you out on a date, I feel like I'm gonna pay.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. There's no obligations. That's just how I feel. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you're Oprah Winfrey. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So,
No,
but does the money that you spend increase anticipate the mass?
I don't. That's interesting. That's interesting, right? No, it doesn't. I feel like, look, man, I don't. I feel like I don't have to do those things to get laid. So, so no. What I do is I subscribe to the thing is when I go on dates, I do things that I enjoy. So it's never like, I know some guys be like, they feel like, oh man, I didn't get, I spent all this money trying to take out Tiffany, and then, ultimately she didn't give me none. So, I blew all that money. I don't feel like that. I do what I want to do. That interests me. That is fun for me. So it's not predicated on whether I'm going to get some or not. So I had a good time regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I don't do a bunch of things that I wouldn't do normally.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? But
I hear it.
But
so, but let me ask you this.
Mhm.
So is there like a tier of like first date, second date, third date? So like we start with ice cream, then we go to coffee, then we go to 2 for $20 at Applebee's. And then we go to Maggiano's happy hour. Then we go to Benihana. Like, what I'm saying? Like,
That's a great.
You are making me hungry.
That's a great question. I think at some point there used to be like a tier, right? I would say in the last 10 years, like I said, my motto is to do what I want to do. So if it is go to like Shea Whitey's, then it's what I want to do anyway. So I don't attach, sometimes you just want a nice woman to go with you to a nice restaurant.
You just want some company.
Right. So I don't feel like I'm being cheated or anything like that. So, but I think when I was younger, definitely it was a tier system. It was,
Mm-hmm.
it was.
So let me ask you this: do you increase the tiers, or is it like expedited if it feels like you're gonna get some?
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I always felt like a relationship is not real until you have sex. Like that, you guys are just playing around until you have sex. Sex.
I don't feel that way.
Sex means that you've. I'm talking about. That's how I always felt. Was like it's like okay, you're just hanging out, going out, whatever. But then once you have sex, then it's like, oh, okay, this is a real relationship. I've amended that. I don't feel like that as much anymore, but that was definitely, it was like we playing around until we actually do it. It's like, oh, okay, then we're actually. I used to feel like that.
Like, so how did you feel about? So you didn't date people that said, "I'm gonna wait until marriage," or
I was stupid. No, I know.
That's why he ghosted me, y'all.
I was stupid because when a woman would say that to me, then I would be like, "Oh yeah, watch. That's not how it's gonna go down." But and sometimes that's what she said, but that's not what happened. And then there were other times where no, she was really trying to wait. So but now I just take what a woman says as the gospel. So like I give another example is how you can be doing a little something with a woman that you haven't had sex yet with, and she might be like, oh no, and then you keep you just keep going and see what happens, and then it turns into a yes. Well, no, that's a not now. If you say nah, then the party stops. You know what I'm saying? That I don't care if you say anything that starts with an N, then it stops.
Damn.
I mean,
Because you get caught up like that, because some of y'all, it's like
that's how it should be. If she feel hesitant, then just back
right,
off.
yeah. But when I was younger, I didn't do that.
How soon is too soon to have sex for you to think that the relationship will never be serious?
Oh, great question. I don't ever think it's too soon, because the way I look at it is, a woman deciding to have sex with me is like a great idea on her part. It's like, why wouldn't she?
I'm head out.
Like, of course you want to have sex with me right away. I mean, duh. Like, so I never think it's too soon. But what, I'm being honest. Like, of course, like maybe some other guys, but me, it makes 100% sense. Why wouldn't she? Yeah, it shows that she got some sense, right?
Have you ever had sex with a woman and then she texts you later and was like, "Well, I regret having sex with you"?
Never. Never.
And then she says, "I want to be celibate, but I still want to go out."
I've had that. I've had that before. Where.
So did you take it personally? Like, oh man, I turned this chick celibate?
No, I never thought about it like that. Like, I've had it happen like twice, where the girl was like super religious. She was saying how, she kind of said the whole "I want to wait," and then we did have sex, and then she said that, you know what, that's not how I'm trying to live my life, blah 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 blah. So no, I didn't take it as that. I took it as like Christian guilt that we'd be back in the bed at some point.
Oh, did you hit it after that?
Of course,
my business.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah, I never had it where like once it's like Lay's potato chips. It's like once you got to keep going, right? So
once you open the bag, you got to keep eating.
Right. So and it's just guilt. Like, it's the guilt because they want to live that Christian lifestyle where they not out there like that, and especially if they think you're like the kind of guy to settle down with. Mm-hmm. So they want to show their best self. Now that's the issue too. We got to talk about is I did a show once about, it was like a late night show, and the topic was women who sleep right away with assholes, but when they think the guy is like potential, then they make him wait and have him jump through all these hoops and stuff, and like the psychology behind that.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's how it goes.
Yeah. So my thing is, it's better to be deemed a guy that there's no future with, because then you get the draws faster.
I mean, it's just about the mentality, how you go into the situation. See, that's how I am. Like okay, how we go into the situation. That I'm like a dude that way. Like, I'm like a guy. Like, how we approach the situation is how it's gonna be. Okay. Yep. So if I go into it and it's a hit and quit, and I'm just trying to hop on top of you and do my thing, I'm not gonna really put too much energy into getting to know you. But when you find somebody you have potential with, you really want to get to know that person, because you kind of need to build a friendship a little bit. It's not that you want to make him wait, because women are horny too, but you know the rules of engagement. You know the game.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as we try to hold out to make you wait, dudes are also, categorizing women based on how fast they sleep with you.
I always thought that was stupid.
We're trying to be in the wifey category. We ain't trying to be.
As much as you say no, Kente, that is always the case.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think it's stupid. How are you going to judge somebody for sleeping with you?
That's true, but that's how men are.
Like that's never been my mentality. I've always saw women who decided to sleep with me as smart women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would I judge a woman for sleeping with me? Like, that's dumb.
I get it, but that's not how most men operate.
I know, but it's stupid.
It is
incredibly stupid. I'm like, of course, but I think sometimes guys, believe it or not, I think sometimes guys don't put a lot of they don't give themselves enough credit, or they don't give. It's like they a lot of times, believe it or not, guys don't cherish themselves, right? It's like you shouldn't just give yourself to anybody or anything. And I think a lot of guys have a mentality of just, racking up body counts, right?
But that's the part of the double standard. Men
And then
are
they be
taught
mad because their baby mama crazy.
Men are not taught that. Men are taught that how you display your manhood is you go out there and you have conquest. And women are taught is how you show that you're ladylike is to sleep with as few people as possible. All the shit is weird because at the end of the day, if you're trying to go forth and multiply, giving each gender opposing things,
Right.
you're telling women to close your legs and be chaste and be ladylike, and you're telling men go sleep with everybody. That doesn't go together.
But let's be fair though. You want a guy who's experienced though.
You can gain experience with each other. If you got a dude that's used to, okay, let's say let's take a dude that watches porn all the time. This dude ain't used to nothing but this. He ain't lipping no nipples. He ain't sucking on toes. He ain't doing no type of foreplay. He not doing that. He just this. So you can have a dude that thinks he's experienced, and really he just used to humping like a rabbit. And no chick has ever cared about him enough to say, hey, listen, this does not feel good. This is not how you do this. Let's get some winding in these hips. Let's slow this down a bit. So what most dudes think is experience, it's not. It's not at all.
You got zero experience. If you got zero experience or very little, I mean, that's not attractive, right?
It depends. Some men, that's a turn on for some men. A woman that's inexperienced.
No. So from our end, we want to plant our flag. We want that lump of clay that we can mold into our thing, So, but I'm saying for women though.
But if he's not experienced, they're never going to be experienced with you. Nobody's experienced in how to please you until they have sex with you.
But then you want us to have a good base to jump off of though.
It don't matter. You can teach them that.
Oh man, I don't see Steph as a teacher.
Well, this is our thing.
I see Steph as more of a.
I think you have to have conversation. You have to understand the way they think, because I find that men that are more ego driven tend to be more of like they're less of the pleaser in bed. Okay, men that are more accepting of women having needs, wanting sex, like women want sex just as much as men. Women, have desires. These men that are more, into that kind of thing tend to be more receptive to, coaching, So you got to beat it up quick, and then you got the guys that are sensual and passionate.
Wait a minute, there's men out there.
You can talk to a man and figure that out.
Wait a minute, there's men out there who's been officially coached by Tiffany and Stephanie.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was great.
Hey, you guys are out there. Not just playing.
I coached Dre a couple of weeks ago. I mean, hey now.
Hilarious. He's like, yeah, teach me, coach. Hilarious. Oh man, that's funny, man. Yeah, there's people out there like, yeah, man.
He's ready to sign up for the course number 2.
I've been coached.
Aaron said, "Put me in the game, coach."
Hilarious. That's funny. It's funny. Like, do you do like ESPN? Like, you show back the page and you're like, okay, see right here. See, you could have done more. Yeah,
that's like Madden.
Yeah, Madden. You're like he's the telestrator. That's hilarious. Oh man.
I can be, sometimes you have to be like a drill sergeant.
Hey, I ain't mad at that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so all right, Shannon. We know you're wholesome adjacent.
What?
So How much is sex a part of what you're looking for? And don't say 0.
It can never be 0. Come on.
73.7%.
So you're not looking for a wholesome adjacent guy.
Oh my God.
I need his tongue to be wholesome adjacent. On all the
Oh my goodness.
but that's a whole nother.
Are you like waiting to wedding night, or are you gonna open the gift? Are you gonna open the gifts before Christmas?
Mind your business. Mind your business that pays you.
No, she's not.
Mind the business that pays you. 2020 is doing a lot of things. Mind your own business.
And big shout out to Kara in the chat room. Actually, let's do a shout out. I'll do the Facebook. We got a lot of people up in here, and we got Kira, Robert is in there as well. Anna, Aaron, who's in here now as well, and Danny is in there. And then on the vocal side of the game, we got my homeboy Carlos Phoenix. Check him out. He used to stream every day. What's up, man? We gotta get you back out there. I love doing this show. Shannon, you should do a show as well. It's a lot of fun. We got Big Ryan, who me and Ryan is gonna do something. Actually, what I'm gonna do with Ryan is he's always talking about CMOS, and what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do a stream together where he'll talk about CMOS while I actually prepare it. Show you guys how to prepare it. So we're gonna do that sometime soon. And we have Anna. Big shout out to Anna. We got Dre. Me and Dre got to do something as well. Nelson, what's up, Nelson? We got Aaron, man. Aaron, we got to chop it up, man. It's been too long. Hopefully everything's good. Jamarcus, what's up, Jamarcus? D is in the house over there in Phoenix. I know it's hot as hell there. We got Luke. What's up, Big Luke? Maya, and we have Danny Redwine, who was our guest last week. So, check out Danny Redwine as well. One of the funniest ladies out there, So Danny, without even trying to be funny, cracks me up. So so Danny is awesome, and we are. And somebody else just came in. Oh, Ken. Life Coach Ken, what's up? I know him from the Blab days. We used to chop it up all the time. Ken, Ken. And we have two lovely ladies here. We have Tiffany, who is, these are two of my favorite accent ladies. Y'all have, I love you guys' accents. Y'all have like the best accent.
I don't have no accent.
You totally have an accent, young lady. I think there was one of those quizzes where they said who has your favorite accent, and you were on my list, so you have a.
But I ain't got no accent, Charlotte. What we talking about?
Yeah, okay, right. And Stephanie too, who has she has an accent, Texas accent, but not like not the most intense Texas accent. Is that a good way of putting it? So. Yeah, so I wonder when now you're in Seattle, how are people liking you in Seattle?
How are people?
Yeah. Like I'm talking about like the people that you come across now and all that. Are you
I mean, we're still in the pandemic.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, you work though. You go.
I work from home.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. My bad. Oh, okay, that's great.
Yes.
And but I get on the Teams meetings with my coworkers and whatnot. I actually met some of them when I did my interview. Not all of them.
Okay.
I have put myself out there on the online dating portals.
Let's talk about that. The rules of engagement. Rules of engagement.
Me too.
On the online dating.
Let me. Okay. So years ago, on this show, we did a online dating show, and I made a Tinder profile, and I never used it. I just did it on
Tinder.
I never used it.
I absolutely hated Tinder.
Right, but we did it like as a thing to show like how to make it right. So when it's time to do your profile, and I write for a living, and I'll be honest with you, everything that I would try to write for a profile sounded corny as hell. Like
Every single thing.
it's just like I try to be like, I try to look at other guys' profiles to get an idea of what people do because I had never done it before, and they sounded corny as hell. I'm like, when this works? Like, so first of all, as two ladies who've been on, you guys been on dating apps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you look like? How much do you put into the profile?
Not much at all. It take me about good 20 minutes.
So you don't really read a lot?
I don't waste a lot of time.
I don't really study that hard, but I do look for words spelled correctly.
Mm.
Like coherent situation, like I can understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I do look at the job. Like I don't do truck drivers. I don't do military. I don't do warehouse workers.
Baby, police officers,
Police,
military.
lawyers.
Oh wow.
But yeah, police, military, and truck drivers, then the main ones. Like, no.
Going heavily.
Oh wow. Wow. He's like, what if he's like, I'll quit the force just to date you?
No.
I just be married and just be out here.
I always have a fear that I'm gonna get killed by a police officer. Like I'm in a relationship one, I'm gonna get killed, and then his partner's gonna cover it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
it's gonna happen. Yeah,
like
let me do it.
I can't file a police report if he beat me up. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna like the police. They got too much power.
I really think you probably gonna be beating him up, Stephanie, but
Yeah. Well,
I've never put my hands on a man. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I agree. I believe that, Stephanie. 100%. I don't think you need to, real player though. Right? You don't need to use violence, right?
Right.
What about you, Shannon? You're a writer. Do you put a lot of emphasis on the profile? What he writes in his profile?
No, I think the last profile I did, I was fully clothed, unless you clicked on the extra links where you can look at other pictures. But it just
you know what's
show
funny?
up.
Y'all want to hear what's funny?
Uh-huh.
I am Facebook friends today with the pictures a person tried to use to catfish me with in 2012.
Oh, wow.
I am Facebook friends with him. I mean, not Facebook, Instagram friends with him right now. I sent him a message. I said, bruh, this don't sound so crazy. Because he's some type of media personality and an actor. So I never knew who this dude was, but I knew it was a catfish. So I sent him the pictures and the messages this dude sent me. He said, bruh, he sent back a message saying that he had a whole page dedicated to his fake pages and outing them on Instagram. That shit had me crying.
Wow.
And that's how we bonded, and we're Instagram friends to this day.
That's hilarious.
Thank you, Lucas.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I have my picture stolen before.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. So
I just feel like ain't nobody gonna steal my pitch because in all of them I'm looking like this. Ain't nobody stealing his facial expression. Ain't nobody dealing with his RBF.
I don't know, man. I don't know. All right. So let me ask this question because I know Shannon is a Cyrano de Bergerac over there.
Cyrano.
I'm doing what?
Could you ladies, if a guy, who's a moderately handsome guy who has a nice job, who maybe is not adept to having a footprint on dating sites, do you feel like, ladies, you could actually help your homeboy do a profile that would be well received on there based on your own knowledge of what women are looking for?
Yeah, because dudes always take their pictures at the wrong angle.
Mm.
They always, the picture either down here or way up here. Like, and then all you do is up. Straight on a background. And you don't have blank background, you just take it straight on and don't have a sun sitting behind you. Like and then like older guys, they always take their pictures like way up here, like old people. Way up there.
We should do that. We should get like a single dude on the show to do a profile and then have
A profile makeover.
Yeah, we should do that. Like,
Hey, Ryan helped me with my Tinder profile. Ryan in the chat, he told me to take all my information out of my profile, like all the text, so that dudes would be intrigued and then ask me questions. And no sooner did I did that, the next day I met somebody very interesting.
go ahead, Ryan.
Now the shit ain't worked since, but it did work for that time.
Okay, all right, all right. We we got to find a dude who wants that makeover. That'll be fun. And then we'll even have it up. We'll have his profile up on the screen, and then we'll all.
You be having resting bitch face too, because you be looking at him, you be like, he'll beat the shit out of me. Like he look
My
great.
boyfriend definitely has RBF. My boyfriend looks angry in 90% of his pictures, and I'm like, can you smile? Can you show a tooth? Just one. No. All I see is flared nostrils and lips.
Right.
Ain't no smile.
It's like he might beat the hell out of me. I'm willing to test it, but I don't know.
Come through, sis.
Okay, so
That's
don't look mean on your profile.
Yeah, don't look mean. Take it straight on. Take the picture straight on. Don't take your picture in your work uniform.
Oh my God. Please no.
Please don't.
Coming from Houston, a lot of dudes working oil and gas and truck drivers. They be in their work uniform. Right.
Don't take your picture in your truck.
And if you trying to date a black girl, don't have a white woman in the picture that you post, because that throws me off.
Right.
And I crop the white girl out because I didn't seen that little sprig of blonde hair flying.
My favorite. Take pictures of you doing the shit you like. Like if you like 5Ks, take a picture of you at a 5K. If you like eating out, take a picture of you eating food. Like take pictures of you doing some fun shit and not working or in your living room.
Okay. And then okay, so if you're looking for a real relationship, because some men not, they just looking to fuck. Okay. Like I don't want to see like that. Like don't take it the picture where like it's just
that V print
down and then like you see that pelvic area, but not
that V print.
The dick root.
The pelvic area, like D'Angelo in that video where he had his pelvic area all chiseled.
Yeah, they call it the dick root.
And do not take a picture as a man. Do not take a picture in a bubble bath. Do not do that.
Yeah, that looks kind of suspect.
Yeah,
with a rubber ducky. Yeah. That's suspect.
Out here looking like you looking for Tyrone instead of Tiffany. Don't do that, bro.
Because
don't do that.
Aaron has a question. He says, should people on dating sites, should people be on dating sites not looking to have sex?
Yeah. It's a dating site, not an escort site. It's a dating site. Like
that part.
Dating
can get through all of that later.
Dating can mean a lot of things.
But I feel like most of us guys are looking to have sex, but then
that's not true.
But I said most of us, like not every guy.
I don't even think it's most.
Really, you think so?
I don't.
All men are down to fuck. It's just how long they willing to wait for it.
Right. And then what happens is it's like, you know what, Tiffany's cool. I like her. You know, her grits are pretty good and not runny. You know, she's
I'm not cooking for you though. So
you're not cooking? Oh. Not even a bowl of cereal? Not even toast?
You better get your own almond milk.
Wow.
Oh man. What about once we're married?
Married?
Yeah.
I make your
baby. You can have these yummy eggs for breakfast.
Ow.
Oh man.
How you like your eggs?
What if he
what
if he cooks for you though? What if he has you over and he makes you a dinner?
That's cool. I love a man that knows how to cook.
But you wouldn't return the favor after that?
Probably not.
Oh wow.
She's serious.
Wow, but that's like a thing you should like. What about we're engaged? No,
We're
I mean
engaged in
we're
what?
engaged. Like
The
we're gonna get
rose of
married.
passion? Okay,
Why?
we when we
I
get
gotta
married
know
then.
what the grits taste like.
Why?
Well, you better go to
No, I gotta know what my
Cracker Barrel
lady's
and get
grits
you
taste
some.
like.
If you can read, you can cook.
You better get in your lady's
Gosh.
grits.
Y'all know, man.
Okay, I'm gonna show y'all this picture of a man that I saw in a bubble bath. I'm gonna show y'all this picture.
Hilarious.
This is recent, like this week.
I just stopped coughing. Oh man, this ain't even cheeks. I thought this was gonna be cheeks. This a whole nother dude. Damn.
Man.
If I gotta guess your sexual orientation,
Very
you took the wrong pictures.
Did he say True Love
Yeah,
37?
man. That's suspect.
Let me
Oh, bless his heart.
No,
Bless it, good name.
moist. It should be used to treat eczema.
Hilarious. Oh, man.
absolutely.
Nelson, you stupid.
Hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Yeah.
so no, guys, delete those bubble bath pictures, please.
Please.
Hilarious.
Why are we doing this?
Oh man.
I think it's funny when the girls do it. Like, why you do it?
When people have pictures of themselves, like anybody, dudes or women, of themselves and their kids on a dating site. I think that's cringy.
I think so too.
Y'all never put my kids on the
I'm
date.
like, why would you? I mean, just say I have 2 kids.
I have children.
I have
I
children.
do put that I have
I
kids.
believe you.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's funny to the point where you said that you took all the text off. I put I have kids. You put the basics about yourself, and then you get, how tall are you? Do you have kids? Nigga, do you English? I just said I have kids.
they don't. Men have just look at the pictures and swipe right. That's how they do.
None of the words.
They don't read none of it.
They want to know how tall you are, what your booty look
They're
like.
you got some big titties. Yeah. I mean, it's like, woo. it's like pulling teeth.
Or back.
Yeah, they say Facebook has
Nosy
a
Ross.
dating thing now.
Yeah, I found out that it's actually like in proof of concept right now because everybody doesn't have access to it because it's not on my Facebook, but a lot of my friends have it. And my friend actually met a decent guy on there, and then she also met a man who was a gigolo. Who also posted a picture of him in a bathtub.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
That is all the corona in his
I'm
face.
good.
I just can't.
Wow.
She was.
I just feel like you're gonna give me
I'm good on
proxy
that.
AIDS if you were gigolo, and I don't have time.
She said, "I think he wants to pay me for sex." And I looked at the profile. I said, "No, ma'am. He wants you to pay him."
Right. Yeah. The money goes the
Right.
other way.
All
Yeah.
No, you paying him for his services.
Hey, I'll take some of these copper coins that you they got.
Would you what do you think about a guy who admits that he's paid for some?
Did he would pay for some?
Yeah, that he's had paid for sex in the past. You look down on a guy?
He did have paid for sex in some way or other.
I mean, like he picked up a hoe off the corner. That kind of.
How recent? Like last week?
2 years.
See, I don't have a problem with people engaging in consensual sex for money. I really don't have a problem with sex work. However, I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who engages in that in a regular basis just because I value my health. That's my issue.
That part.
It's not a judgment thing. It's just I need to protect myself.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you,
Right.
Tiffany? Would you
I can't say that'll be a bit much for me because I have some exes that have some sordid stories. I feel like as long as you're honest and as long as you can prove to me that you don't have any type of STD or STI, I'm good with honesty.
Are you okay with
But I think I'm like Steph in the regard that if this is your normal way to engage in women, to me, that's off. Like you just can't meet a woman and have a normal conversation. If you're such a recluse that you have to pay someone to spend time with you, then I think it's something wrong with you.
Mm. What about strip clubs? Are you guys okay?
In Atlanta, strip clubs are almost like
That's part of life.
a part of culture. Like women frequent strip clubs as much as, if not more than, men.
Mhm.
And I think I'm like a unicorn here because I've never been to a strip club and I don't have a desire to go to one.
Yeah.
But I've dated dudes that went to the strip club a lot.
Yeah, Atlanta, it is part of their
I didn't care.
part of their culture. I mean, so you could date, so you still could date a guy that goes to strip clubs all the time.
Not all the time. Like we in our 30s, bro. Calm down. Like you should not be that excited to see naked women. You've seen plenty. Chill out.
Men always want what they can't have though.
That part.
Look,
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you're right. I agree.
I
think you want a little more.
I mean, but not to bring it too deep. I feel like when you go into places like that, when you go into sex clubs and sex shops, not sex shops, but the trapeze and the Pandora's box and the strip clubs, it's a different type of spirit and environment in that I don't want you to bring back home to me.
Yeah.
So for the type of household that I want, I don't want somebody that frequents those types of places. Like you can have had that in your life and got that out your system, but if this is your life currently, it's not for me.
Yeah.
If you've been in
I
a
can't agree with
long-term
that.
relationship that ended, you guys been in long-term relationships that ended, right? Is there something that someone should do to purge whatever leftover residue that might be around? Like, do you feel like they should take some time in between? Do you feel like do you feel like they should just jump back on the horse? Should they put some sage, burn some sage over their vagina or their penis? Like, what do you think if you've gotten, you've broken up in a long-term relationship and then now you want to eventually go to something else? Like, what do you think you should do to get right for the next, potential relationship?
Yeah.
Take a break.
Yeah.
You got to be able to heal yourself. You got to be able to disengage, do some checks and balances, air that hang out.
I know some people who burn their bed sheets in between relationships.
And that's wrong with that. If that's what you want to do.
Yeah, sage.
I mean, I just talked to a man online. I think I was telling Shannon about this. He just broke up with a woman 6 weeks ago. They were living together. That is not really the lane I'm trying to be in because number one, you're just horny. Number two, you haven't even had time to reflect on how you contributed to the demise of the relationship. Because you're trying to your shit and move out. So you ain't even had time to think about that.
Damn.
Parents is your different person.
And then layer in the Rona situation. So you can't even get out like that and hump on somebody. So it's like, no, bro. Oh.
Aaron has a good one. He says, you're a different person. Learn about the new person you are. Get to love that new person. So it's something about after a relationship.
Yes.
He went from saying I love strippers to some deep shit. Okay. He's multifaceted.
That's what I'm talking about. He got that shit from a deep ass stripper. I'm cool with it.
I agree. I do feel kind of weird if I meet someone and they just got a relationship, especially a long-term relationship. I'd be like, I don't know, like.
But see, I never really tell men like when I got out of my last relationship. I kind of just like glazed over it. I never really say it. Is that dishonest?
No, not really. Because if they don't ask,
I've been single for a little while.
And they just be looking at your eyes.
I just like to be kind of a little bit coy about it,
Nah. Nah, and if they don't ask follow-up questions, that's on them. If
Okay.
they don't ask follow-up questions, that's on them. So
Yeah, if they don't.
Yeah.
Because, like, if a man says, well, I haven't had sex in a while. Okay, for a man, that could be like 2 days. That could be like 2 weeks. For a woman, that could be like 2 years. Like,
would,
I mean, can you quantify, please?
would you be put off if the answer is I haven't had sex in multiple years?
I would want to know why. If you're not trying to be, if he says, well, I'm celibate, I'm going on a spiritual journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, well, how far are you in your journey? How many more years you got to go? Or
Hey, Marty.
Or he could say, well, I have a micro penis and women are put off by me. I mean, it could be anything. Who knows? I got to.
You want surgery, my God? What we doing?
I mean, maybe he could say, well, I was living somewhere where I was living in Idaho and I like black women. Ain't no black women there. I don't know.
What's your reaction to the micro penis?
But we gotta have a conversation.
If he's like, I have micro penis and women are put off by it. What's your next thing?
I would just be like, well, do you have any other endearing qualities? Like, do you got good credit? Are you nice? Are you nice?
He's like, I'm 700.
Do you know how to cook? I mean, you could be the lemon pepper wing guy. Who knows?
That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
How many? Okay, so you have here's a micro penis, right? How many great qualities do you gotta have over to make up for the micro penis?
All of them. All of them.
Million.
Stop my hand.
You need to get money
for every.
And he can cook and money, and he can work his tongue and money, and he got a great job in money
and money.
On a sexual level, because you can't even get it in because it ain't enough. Like, we gonna have to have some surgery. Surgery.
I got to be good enough to get care credit, the surgery for the credit for plastic surgery, so he can get the penis implant.
Oh wow. Wow.
I mean,
have you those?
Or he gotta make me fuck his homeboy. That's it.
Oh wow. So he has to have a stand-in.
Oh yeah. He can watch.
Oh my.
Oh wow, thank you.
Yeah, he could be a cuckold.
So you need you in August, Alcina.
The shade, honey.
I'ma head out.
Oh, wow. You know what? Let's talk about that, but let's end the show and then we'll talk about that. First, let's start off with you, Tiffany. How can we get you in social media?
I am Sherelle Wright on Facebook and on Instagram and on I'm Sherelle Icon, but I'm changing it on YouTube as well, but I haven't posted a video. So we just and I haven't posted a video yet. So Sherelle Wright's on Instagram and Sherelle Wright on Facebook. You can catch me in these internet streets.
And the Tinder account is now inactive.
It is inactive. I am off the market.
All right.
8 months.
Congratulations.
Good.
Stephanie, how can people get you in social media?
First of all, I'm on the market. Okay. But you can follow me on Instagram at @SoSoSteph_. That's it. Because if you try to find me on Facebook, I'm not going to accept you because I don't know you in real life. So.
All right, and also, you ladies are a joy to always talk to. So we got to do this again. This is so much fun. Yes. And then Shannon went mute, so we got to wait till she's on the phone. So, all right. So, Shannon, that's funny. We're about to go to her, and she's on the phone. All right. So we'll do me for next. My name is Kente, of course. You can get me at Kente F on Twitter. Kente Ferguson, FERGERSON at Gmail. I'm sorry, at Instagram. And the website is indyradio.org. That's INDYradio.org. And I guess I'll speak for Shannon. You can get her at Shannon Ford Jefferson. That's That's everywhere. I believe she's at Shannon Ford Jefferson, and I'm gonna stream at some point this week. Be on the lookout for a project that me and Dr. Vibe is doing, and then me and Ryan's going to be doing something as well. And I want to give a shout out to the other streamers in the chat room. We have someone else who I had a chance to meet in Atlanta, Marisol, is in the chat room, and she streams I think 2 or 3 times a week. Please correct me. She sells jewelry on her streams as well. She does a fabulous job 3 times a week, right? She's awesome. Of course, Carlos Phoenix, who has a great show. I go on there and I'm the wild card, I like to say, because I talk a lot of junk. And I always give him a hard time, but he's a good dude. And Ryan as well. I like to go and mess up his show every chance I get. But big shout out to those guys. Those guys are awesome streamers as well. And Shannon, how can we get you?
I'm gonna be like Stephanie. I too am single. Yeah, and I'm inappropriate in 2020. Give my disclaimers. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at Shannon Ford like the President -Jefferson like the President. My Etsy page drops tomorrow. All those Inapropros, Saints and Aints product lines coming out. So get you a Saint or an Ain't t-shirt because we're about to drop them like hotcakes. Website will be up next Monday. And I'm going to keep working on my Sunday lives. That's all I do, boo. What you got? How can we follow you?
Oh, I did myself. So.
Okay, well, great. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Peace.
Join us after the party.